Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ankerstar Wealth Morning Show. I'm your host, Allison Ankerstar, and today we'll be talking about the Ankerstar Wealth Client Calendar, the pain associated with 7% mortgage rates, and the dire AI safety warning that was just issued. But before we begin, as a reminder, this is a financial education presentation and should not be construed as personal financial advice. Full disclaimer information is available at ankerstarwealth.com. Good morning, Steve. Ankerstar Wealth has a new client services calendar. What can you tell us about it?
Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for your patience on our new format here. We kind of keep flip-flopping around, but we are getting there. What I want to show you is this client calendar that is for you. So this is client-facing, and we should have done this years ago, to be honest, but what you're seeing here is this lets you know at certain times of year we're going to be talking about different topics, right? So really, if you go across the top, starting in the left is January, we have our quarterly investment advisory briefing. We do our risk-wise check-ins, and then we have a prior year IRA review, and a current year IRA planning, right? So, that's kind of a January thing. We talk about, have you maxed out last year and what are you going to do for this year? So that kind of consumes January. February, we talk cash flow planning and we do our annual contract updates from information we collected in January to get that back out the door in February. The one we have coming up for June, if you go all the way to the right of the top row, again, the first half of the year is on that top row, we're going to do a beneficiary review and an insurance review. So I'll pick one of them tomorrow. And in our normal email, instead of it saying, Ankerstar Wealth Morning Update, it's going to say something like, client topic, beneficiary review, please read or please watch kind of thing. And I'll do a video on what we want to do for beneficiaries. What do you make sure you have set up? And then it's upon the client to, again, reach out and, we can make any changes that you have that you need to, or if you want to schedule a call to discuss how you should have your beneficiary set up, or do you have primary, secondary, tertiary beneficiaries, all that stuff. Then we'll do an insurance review like halfway through the month. So every couple of weeks, you're going to get an email. Instead of the morning brief, it's going to say client topic, right? And so that's what make sure we're servicing all of you throughout the year, kind of in groups to make sure that we get everything done. And of course, if you scroll down here to December, that's, tax loss harvesting. That's kind of the last chance. And then, mutual funds always kick out that big dividend or distribution in December that messes everybody up, right? So that's why that's there. We'll do RMDs in November. So really, the important stuff is on the top row for you, and then the other stuff that's on this calendar is to give you a little insight as to things we're looking at for our own compliance and portfolio management processes. But all in all, excited to get this out to everybody. We'll figure out a form to send this out or publish it on the website, something like that, to make sure you have this available and make sure that we cover all the topics that we need to be covering with every client.
Next, mortgage interest rates are now over 7% again. What does this mean for the housing market?
Well, 7% is obviously not a good rate as far as the interest rates. So here you go. Here's the headline again. This was last week. This was a week ago today that actually we had this. But whenever you see interest rates, the Fed's been raising rates and mortgage rates kind of flow with the market, but they're going up too, right? When they're above 7%, that's kind of crazy. That makes when you go to buy a house, you have to meet certain ratios of your income to your payment, or payment to income more accurately. And this really puts people in the hurt locker as far as the houses they could afford. And if overall we can't afford as many houses, as much house as we could have before, that naturally has the kind of invisible hand effect of driving house prices down. Now, location is everything. So if you're in a hot location like Austin, it's not going to affect you nearly as much as it will in a less desirable location. And if the more expensive house you have, the more it will affect you, because again, you're looking at a reduced number of potential buyers to be able to come in and take that house off your hands. So it could be a while, is what I'm saying. However, if now's the time to move, because that's right for your life situation, you want to go ahead and move, go into your 30-year loan at 7%, but then at some point in time, rates will come back down. You'll look to refi right back out of that 7% rate. So I do see, more pain ahead in the housing market. So I think it'll be cooling off in the hot areas. And it could be some time before it actually goes back down to a decent rate of around 4% for mortgages.
Last, the Center for AI Safety issued a dire warning recently. What was it and why is it so scary?
Yeah, so this it really is. They put out a one-liner. Again, this is USA Today covering the story. One-liner for the AI stuff. I was got an ad running there, but Sam Altman's the one that's in front of everybody, in front of Congress, testifying to this. And it's the line, I'll put it in blue here, is mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. So again, we just had our COVID scare, right? There's some folks who thought this was going to be the end of the human race. That could be coming through a pandemic, right? And all of us get wiped out. Could happen. Nuclear war, obviously, that mutual assured destruction. We've been able to avoid that, but cooler heads don't always prevail. So, and we still have the weapons. So that could be a potential. But really, we're talking the movie type scenario, right? Where when robots can fix robots, what do they need humans for? So that's really kind of what we're talking about here. And, you've heard Elon Musk talk about it. Now Sam Altman's talking about it. And again, he's the CEO of ChatGPT, which I know you've heard of. So, if the folks that kind of are created this or are behind it are the ones talking about needing to make sure we regulate it and keep it in the can, if you will, and versus just releasing it, unleashed, if you will, to do whatever it wants. That is kind of scary. So in a way, that's good news. There's actually a Center for AI Safety now. Maybe that's been around for a while. It's the first I've heard of it was this article, but certainly people have their eye on it to make sure that we don't inadvertently through our own technology take ourselves out. So what does that mean for you and I? I think just go about our business and continue to use AI. If it benefits your life, that's great. If you don't want to have anything to do with it, that's fine. But just do know that it's out there. And, like we were talking in the office a little bit ago, they can spoof things, right? I mean, you could easily see President Biden, a clip of him declaring that he had just launched nukes against Russia. That's completely fake, right? But you can't tell the difference. It was the weekend and Drake released a fake song that had like 10 million downloads. That's probably been 2 months ago now. But the song was great. Right. And it's fake. So again, being, a little more leery of when you see things, don't always believe it just because you see it or hear it, no matter how real it looks. Just know that it's out there and be warned.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Please submit your questions as a comment through social media or directly to our email at vipservices@ankerstarwealth.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get daily updates. That's all we have for today's show. I'm Allison Ankerstar, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.